Hello, Nick.
Alex.
Welcome to Nick Alex. はい。今日は、アメリカ人、日本人、ロシア人、友達同士でどんな会話をするか。俺日本に来て気づいたことは多分、アメリカ人の友達と日本人の会話の内容が全然違うの。Completely different topics. Like some things that are off limits in the States, they talk about in Japan.
Oh, interesting.
And then obviously a lot of things that are normal in America are off limits in Japan. だからその友達とどうやってコミュニケーションを取るかについて話そうと思いました。はい。
Yeah. Can you start with something that like is normal here but you can't say it in the States?
俺日本で一番びっくりしたことは、その女性友達と普通に会話するとき、like they'll talk about like この前下痢だったんだよな like I had diarrhea the other day and I'm like in America I don't think any girlfriend of mine would ever say something like that.
That sounds are you sure it wasn't one person?
Yeah, no, it was a couple. That's happened. それとも俺の友達が狂ってるかもしれないけどI'm not sure, but
yeah, tell us in the comments if your girlfriend would ever say that.
But in Japan, I think if it's like 同僚 like work friends, you may talk about work. でも大体仕事の話はしない。
Like, 友達同士。
Yeah, or somebody that you just met.
Right.
Like you don't really say like, what do you do? Like,
really?
Yeah. And then あれさ、俺今日本に住んでもう13年ぐらい経ってんだけどさ、今でもその日本人はどんな会話するんだろうな。
Now in this video we're gonna discover that we do not.
Yeah, we still don't know what Japanese people talk about.
They probably talk to us about different things.
Yeah. 多分外人だからね。Yeah. Well, let me just say Americans really fast and then you say Russians. So Americans, I'd say like 22 and over, talk a lot about politics.
Yeah, right.
で、俺はそれすごいうざい。政治しか話さない人たちは単純に趣味がない。俺からすると。Yeah. So I don't want to hear about politics. And that's one thing I like about hanging out with Japanese people is they're not always talking about politics.
Yes, they never are talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually something that I was kind of very curious about when I moved to Europe. で、ヨーロッパに引っ越しして、ヨーロッパ人もいつも政治の話する。ロシアでは、I think now it's kind of becoming more and more of a normal thing to talk about, but not as much and on different, topics.
What about Russians though? Do they talk about that too?
I think we pretend that we talk about politics, but actually we're just talking about, are you anti-certain person or pro-certain person?
I mean, that's what it's like in America. だから政治の話をすると自分の族
だよね。
族を決めれるから。
Yeah.
I think Japanese people are a lot more united in general.
That's true though.
Because there's one political party that kind of runs stuff. For better or for worse. It's not a...
Well, you don't even talk about it anyway, so...
Yeah. I'm not even saying anything good or bad about it. But, guys talk about girls. それは多分どこでも一緒。
どこでも一緒。
あの子めっちゃ可愛いな。
Yeah, I think that's a universal thing.
俺は男友達とする会話をこの動画でできないね。Yeah, I can't talk about it here. But yeah, girls. What about movies?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone talks about movies to a certain degree.
Yeah.
I also feel like Russians talk more about, abstract ideas or life, Maybe because we have nothing like particularly good to talk about. We're just like, life is a depressing thing, Let's talk about philosophy. Yeah, Oh, you know what I noticed actually? Whenever I am at a party with, non-Russian people, it's like always, just fun and stuff. In Russia, if you go to a house party, every time there will be a certain group of people completely separated from the main group. And then they'll be sad and they'll be just talking about, I remember I made that mistake. I'm like, oh, but life is, and then it's just like, it's a thing. It always happens, and I kind of miss that, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I just miss house parties. In Japan, one thing that's off limits is kind of going to people's houses. Just 単純に多分、土地が 少ないからさ、日本は。アメリカは家が大きいからいつもいっぱい人を呼んだり、俺高校生の時にもう多分100年ぐらいのパーティーとかやってたかも。I'm not sure. I mean, I didn't even have a particularly huge house, but
Well, I actually have been to quite a bit of house parties in Japan.
Really?
Yeah, I mean that it's a flat, but it's a flat party, not a
yeah,
house
but I
party.
think the type of house party you're talking about is more like of an adult. Like, let's have like,
Probably.
wine or something. I'm talking about like big beer kegs and
Oh,
like,
yeah. I'm talking about that.
Oh, you are in Japan?
Yeah. But,
何歳だよ、お前。
but yeah, I mean, I just have a couple friends who really love house parties, so and they have a fairly big apartment. But...
Yeah, well, one 共通点. Okay, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do girls talk about like attractive guys or like attractive
well, I mean,
girls?
I think it's normal. Well, it's like the thing for any country to talk about the opposite gender or
Yeah.
any gender.
You mean the thing about any human?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
well, but that's
Or
the
the
thing.
same gender, depending on...
I was about to say it's a thing to talk about sex, but then now I'm actually understanding that I don't think that Japanese people speak about sex as directly as...
Yeah, they don't speak about
we
sex
do.
as directly. Yeah.
With
I
friends.
actually think like the way that America has evolved, or maybe not evolved or progressed or devolved. Well, I think women are much more sexual. Like...
Oh, you mean
directly.
than non-American?
Yeah. Like they'll talk about like experiences or
Right,
stuff like
right.
that.
I think-
日本はありえないな、そういうの。確かに。
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think same in Europe and probably some parts of Russia, but I wouldn't say.
Yeah, Europe's pretty open too, right?
Yeah, well, Europe is similar to the States in terms of, I think friendly relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, I'd say in Japan, like if it's different gendered people, I guess they have less friends of different genders in general. Because if you're like, oh, I have a male friend, that's like kind of like...
Do you think you can have a true male friend? Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Really? No?
Obviously not.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. But yeah, so I think in Japan they always see it as something that kind of...
Yeah, the way they friends here also, like America's なんか幼馴染とか中学校の友達とか高校の友達、日本人は結構長い付き合いがあるの。Like, I'll meet somebody and somewhere I'll be like, how did you guys meet? And they'll be like, we were friends from high school or we were friends from 中学校 or something like that. And I'm like, wow. I mean, maybe it's just because the schools are so big in America that, I don't know. I don't feel like I mean, I talked to some of my college friends. I talked to a couple high school friends, but I don't hang out with them that much.
Yeah, but also personally, and I guess for you as well, we quite radically changed our life and we moved to different cities and stuff. So, and I've been moving pretty much my whole life, so
もう日本の付き合いが長い気がするんだよな。
まあいいんじゃない
Yeah, that's a good こと。
That's
Yeah, good こと。いいことじゃなくて good こと。はい。まあいいんじゃないこれは。これで。OK。皆さん、日本人はどんな会話する？教えて。俺たち日本人じゃないからわかんない。OK。バイ。